Always wanted to do that.
Oh, yeah, we got cue cards, baby. Oh shit. I'm not trained. It's Tuesday Newsday.
Tuesday Newsday.
Nick, we're going to do it different this week.
I'm scared. I'm exhilarated.
I got Broadway news. I got alcoholic news. I got billionaire news. I got military news. I got porn news. I got jizz news. I got kinky phobia news. I got
Don't stop.
international news.
Oh my God.
We got too much. I'm gonna try a game with you this week. Welcome to MKUsual.
It's like MK Ultra, but more normal.
And if you stick around till the end, we do desk jokes.
Yeah,
That's what these are for.
I'm queued up right here on our cue cards.
Weekend update style. You can sit here and knock off. No, they're fun. We're good.
I was thinking of, I always liked Letterman. I always liked
Yes, I love, dude, Letterman. Dude,
Yeah.
I can honestly say this. Definitely in my top 5. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say top 5 influences.
Same.
Watching Letterman, probably Kids in the Hall, probably like old SNL. Those 3 for sure, top 5.
Yeah. My grandma was always a Leno lady. So we had like a fun little rivalry. Like, oh, hey, Grandma Letterman's on. She'd be watching Leno and I'd be like, oh, hey, Letterman's on. You want to, and she'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, we're watching. You know, it was always like
There's
a
nothing.
fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I also had the same thing.
It was just like a fun little joke we always did to each other.
As a kid, I liked to, I don't know why, but for most of my life, especially as a kid, I was a big categorizer. I was
Okay.
obsessed with categories. Like, I'm a Coke guy, I'm a Letterman guy, I'm a mustard. Like, for a long time, I didn't eat ketchup on my burger because I had decided mustard was superior to ketchup.
It is.
So why would I have, I was a weird kid, but I used to be like, oh, Letterman sucks. Or I used to be like, Letterman rules, Leno sucks. But looking back, there's nothing wrong with Leno. I will say this. Leno seems like a cool guy. I will say this. Probably nobody is sitting around talking about how they were inspired by Leno.
True.
So for what you can say about him, super successful, funny. I mean, I've seen clips of Leno out and I laughed.
Yeah.
It's just that absurdist, dry Midwest shit that
Yeah.
Letterman has going on that you almost have to live. Well, anyway, is that going to be okay? Do you know?
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. Well, got a little off topic. That's okay. So, what was I going to say? Have you ever seen that movie where it's a dramatization of the Leno Letterman feud?
No.
Okay. I'm going to find that movie for you. For whatever reason, I loved that movie when I was a kid. I think it was a made-for-TV movie.
Okay.
It's probably hilarious to look back on now because, like, now both those guys are so iconic that to see other people play them,
yeah.
but as younger versions of themselves, is kind of funny. But yeah, so here's what we're doing. It's Tuesday Newsday, and I'm going to let Nick pick the stories. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick a number between 1 and 10,
Okay.
and then we'll start on that story.
Okay.
And then we'll just keep going until we get near time, and then we'll do desk jokes.
I'm gonna go with number 8.
Number 8, baby. Good choice. This story is about a man who was caught bragging about putting jizz in his boss's beard balm.
Yeah.
I'll read you a portion of the story and we'll discuss. This is from the Daily Record. Worker boasted he ejaculated in boss's beard balm after row. A COVID vaccination worker, quote unquote, jizzed into a bottle of his boss's beard balm following an argument, a court heard. Jordan Fitzpatrick made the mistake of boasting about what he had done to another manager a number of days later. The 25-year-old told his fellow worker that the complainer, who is not being identified, had a bottle of beard oil on his table, and then he confessed, quote, I jizzed in it. When the oily gel was injected, it appeared cloudy with sediment at the bottom, and the police were informed. The contents of the bottle were sent for forensics analysis, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on from there. He admitted guilty to breach of the peace. I think this might have been in
Sounds like Britain.
the UK. Yeah, it's in Scotland.
Okay.
Every time we read a crime article from the European Union, what's going on, European? In America, we're the land of prisons. It's us and China and the Middle East and Russia.
Yeah.
These are the people that make the U.S., China, Russia, Middle East. We're who makes the world move. And we love locking people up.
Yeah, it's a motivating factor in society to
stay. Apparently, jizzing in a dude's beard gel is a misdemeanor.
All I heard was
in the European Union.
Oh, that's a naughty boy.
Mm-hmm. That's like that guy we talked about last week in Greece, who was trespassing onto his neighbor's property and
this shoe sniffer
sniffing their shoes. And got probation. So, any thoughts on the Beard Balm Jizz Master other than what the hell is going on?
I just want to know how that guy's beard looked after. I mean, did it look nice?
Cloudy. Well, I don't know if wasn't that a scene in
Cloudy with
something about Mary?
Yeah. Well,
she used his jizz as
he
hair
jizzed
gel.
and he's like, where'd it go? And it's like dangling off his ear.
Right.
And she
goes, hair gel, and then puts her hair up.
Yeah.
I say, you know what? I'd love to know what the That's one problem with when I read this article. It doesn't say what the argument is.
Yeah.
It just says after an argument. Because I can be honest, depending on the argument, I might agree with the guy.
What would it take for you to, like, what kind of argument?
Well, if he wasn't going to pay him his wages, that's a crime that cries out to the Lord.
Yeah.
So I say you get the jizz in a guy's.
Yeah.
If the boss did something
Here's something
nasty to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
sexual or harassment, maybe.
Or like hit on his wife at a holiday party, or like
if it was something personal, hit on his daughter.
Yeah.
Like that sheriff who shot that judge a couple months ago.
I didn't see that.
Allegedly for trying to come onto his daughter. Yeah, I just say, you know what? I'm agnostic. I say you don't tell me what the argument is. I say jizzing in a guy's hair gel. 99% of the time, I'm against it. That was odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not necessarily against it. You want to pick another number between 1 and 10?
I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay.
Like 3.
This one's a more mainstream article. Might not even have to read it to you. I'd love to know I put this in here because I wanted to get your take on it. RFK Jr. Let's go do the headline. It's from The Guardian. RFK Jr. to cut prescription drugs, increase weed and psychedelics access. In a podcast, he called it a suppression of psychedelics. Criticized the FDA for aggressive suppression of psychedelics and called the U.S. the sickest country in the world. He said we spend billions on pills, potions, and powders rather than actually getting people healthy and building their immune system. RFK is a surprising choice for a number of reasons. He's an attorney who lacks government public health experience and has criticized Trump harshly. So RFK is going to push psychedelics. I want to say something. Why is he a surprising pick? What is this fake controversy?
Yeah.
I keep seeing the word controversial pick about people are like, dude, RFK was out. RFK endorsing Trump,
dude,
was like this major news event.
Yeah, to me, it's like he may not be. He's not a physician, so I get that. But he's also been like
he was an environmental lawyer.
Yeah, he was like fighting against environmental destruction. He obviously went through 2 horrific traumas in his young life, and then became, I think he was addicted to heroin for a long time.
I did not know that.
He was addicted to, I believe it was heroin. He talked about it a little bit, and then like went through recovery, then like discovered this in his own journey to like get clean and better his health, and discovered all this other stuff probably.
The dude's jacked for his age.
Yeah, he's in phenomenal health, except for the shy halud that crawls through his brain.
He does have a worm in his brain. You might be crazy. I guess what I'm saying is, I knew this was coming, and I'm not trying to make this a political episode. I didn't even know you'd pick that number. I just wanted to include it in the list because I know you believe in some alternative health stuff.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but I didn't realize. But I keep seeing when it comes to Trump's picks the words controversial, unexpected. Nothing is unexpected. He's literally been going around with Trump for 2 months wearing a hat that says "Make America Healthy Again," and Trump's talking about how he's going to give him this exact job. And then he won the popular vote and swept all the swing states. So now he's doing exactly what has been well publicized, and the news says unexpected.
Yeah,
they're controversial. It's neither one of those things.
Yeah.
Stop calling things controversial just because you don't like them.
That's just propaganda. I don't.
If not having 100% consensus is what it takes to make something controversial, then you better start calling every celebrity and every politician controversial.
I think there is a lot of benefits to, I don't know, like anything, moderation is, well, I'm like, I take the Zen Buddhist stance on moderation because they say moderation in moderation. Moderation's a good place to be most of the time, but you can't limit yourself. Like if you need to shake up your life and go live in a fucking hut you build in the woods for 3 months, do that, but then come back to the moderated life. You know,
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I've
like,
never heard moderation.
Yeah, don't deny. You know, like moderation is like to never leave it is an extreme view. Mm-hmm. And they say like, you know, don't be afraid of being cold. When it's cold, you shiver. Don't be afraid of being hot. When it's hot, you sweat. But then you will go back to the, you know. So like, yeah, take a fucking hero dose of mushrooms, scream at God, unpack all your trauma, and then go back to work the next week.
Defeat the sewer dragon.
Yeah,
save
exactly.
The princess. Yeah, I think I also, you know what? I've never taken psychedelics. I may never take psychedelics, but I know so many people who have.
I've benefited personally from mushrooms.
Okay, I know you're another person.
Several times in my life. I've taken LSD. I don't trust chemicals.
I don't either. I have been prescribed anti-anxiety, depression.
If it's made by man, I don't trust it anymore.
Yes,
kind of thing.
I have been prescribed so many pills in my life. I do not take any of them. I take aspirin. I would take pills for like cholesterol.
Okay. Yeah,
there's heart stuff like that. I think the mental stuff is destroying our country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially giving it to kids in mass.
And it's like this weird. It's literally Brave New World. It's like I believe that mental health issues stem from essentially spiritual conflicts, either with yourself or some reconciliation that you need to face something and you can't, and it becomes this like cycle that perpetuates. And I
agree with that in large part. I do think there are like certain psychotics and stuff that probably need some stuff.
I get that too. And
I also think those drugs could be a good Band-Aid or bridging point between different parts of your life.
Absolutely.
I would never criticize a person for taking these drugs. It just seems very odd that so many millions of people are on them or supposed to be on them. They're on them so early. I do not understand.
At best, it's a Band-Aid.
Yes.
It's to heal it's to stop the bleeding, but it doesn't heal the wound.
I do not understand how
it's triage.
How more than 2 out of 100 kids would be on a psychoactive medication.
Yeah.
And it's so much higher. Dude, it's so much higher than that. There's just no way that's appropriate.
Yeah, give the kids a bag of mushrooms and a fucking lava lamp and...
All right, we solved it. Nick, a number between 1 and 10.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Going back to, well, okay. This week, I kind of started to bitch to you about this yesterday. This is another Our Society is Falling Apart story. The headline is, are you aware of this movie Wicked? It came out the 22nd, came out earlier this week. This is from the
Yeah.
Wicked. It's a retelling of The Wizard of Oz based on a Broadway.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes.
It's a musical. I thought they already made this movie.
Here's the thing.
That's why it was weird to me, but...
They have not. This is the first film adaptation that I'm aware of.
Okay.
The reason why you think this, and this is going to be part of my
maybe
argument.
the Broadway thing was big, and
It's been in American culture for 2 decades.
Okay.
Okay. Not the first, there's been plenty of theatric musicals. It's just it's a theatric release of the famous Broadway play, which I've seen twice.
Okay.
I like it a lot. I saw it once in Kansas City. I saw it once in Broadway. Here's the story, though. Theaters are issuing warnings to customers specifically not to sing during this movie. Not to go to this musical and then sing out loud with it like it's a sing-along. This article lists numerous theaters, AMC, others, which are essentially, there's an online public debate about whether or not people should be able to sing out loud during this movie. And so different movie theaters are issuing policy reminders. They're going to have little clips reminding people not to sing, but people are still arguing with it, saying stuff online like, what if I can't help myself? Why are these rules so strict? Other theaters, probably Alamo Drafthouse, will sometimes they'll do a regular showing, and then they'll do a sing-along showing. For the children.
Like a quote
who want to go sing during the musical.
They used to do that in Austin, like The Big Lebowski, and
Yeah.
You quote all your favorite lines, and everyone dresses up like their favorite character, and it's kind of like the Rocky Horror thing. And that's like a whole subculture that
One woman stubbornly confessed, "I'm singing to myself and no one can stop me. It's not like they can hear me over the movie if I sing silently to myself." I included this because it's the
they're trying to suppress any dissent of any type, like the act of doing anything in dissent, or like.
What do you mean?
Well, there's this band I like called Idols. They have an album called Joy as an Act of Resistance.
Okay.
And I love that. I think it almost is an act of resistance to be joyous in public, to like show joy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
We might have opposite takes on this story. I think it's insane that that adults are having a public debate about whether it's okay to essentially talk during a movie.
Okay, I see that.
That's how I see this.
Yeah.
And it's a movie theater. I mean, if I went to a fucking play and I paid money to see this, if I went and saw this live again, and somebody was sitting next to me fucking singing, I would lose my shit.
It's like
I would want my money back.
It's like someone singing a song and you're like, "Hey, who sings that song?" And they're like, "Billie Eilish," and like, "We'll let them do it." It's like that whole joke. It's like, I get what you're saying.
And I just think I
don't disagree with that.
It's like the childification of our culture that we would even be having like a debate about this.
Yeah.
Also, I put this on the list because people are roasting. This is the pop culture segment. People are roasting some of these interviews that Ariana Grande and the chick who plays Afalba are doing. I'm going to show a clip. 3, 2, 1, go.
This week, people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but you know, I am in queer media, so
Yeah.
that's my,
It's
you
really
know,
cool.
yeah.
What's the song?
So cringe, bro. Defying Gravity. It's like the
It's like-
big. It's one of the big.
Okay. Yeah, she like reaches over and consoles her, and
Because it's so. She goes, people that they've been holding space. Holding space, which I had to Google. I mean, it's a therapy concept of creating safe, compassionate environment where someone can feel seen, heard. It's a bullshit. It's a bullshit.
yeah.
She's saying people hear that Defying Gravity is like this big part of the musical where she decides that she's gonna start using her powers and like, because she's like, she's like the person who gets picked on, and the Good Witch is like the bully. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I'm gonna defy gravity. Like, I'm gonna like overcome all my. But it's so funny. These people are acting like they fucking wrote this musical.
Yeah.
This musical is like I said, it's been culturally relevant for 20 years. And they're like, I didn't know that people are using this song in this musical I didn't write. And they're like fake crime. Dude, they look like they're on fucking shrooms, dude. It gets so much worse. There's so many other clips. It's high level cringe, the way they're acting.
Well,
It's so funny. They act so like they start crying and shit. They act so weird that even the reporter's like, yeah, I saw some posts. Like, like it's like just freaking woo woo bullshit. Anyway, that was entertainment news.
God bless our little hearts.
God bless your little hearts. All right, number between 1 and 10.
4.
4. All right, this is international news.
Okay.
I believe this comes out of India, but I think it will foretell. I don't know. I think this says something about corporate culture and money culture and stuff in general. And I could see people doing something similar in the United States. A billionaire CEO in India. He runs the Indian restaurant booking food delivery app Zomato. It's just like their DoorDash. He's kind of like an Elon Musk type figure. He's a tech mogul in India. He's offering a position to work with him, basically as an assistant and stuff, learning from him. The kick is, and the news story is, you have to pay him to work for him. $24,000 a year. Your salary is negative $24,000 a year.
He's a life coach pyramid scheme operator.
Kind of, but when I first read this, I go, "Oh God, more rich people shit." But I mean, okay, let me ask you this, Nick: if you had $25,000 laying around,
If I
if you
were
had
like,
$50,000 laying around,
yeah, I get it. Would I do it? Is that what you're asking?
well, I mean, is it? I mean, my first reaction is, and the media is like, "Oh my God, this guy is so into himself that you have to pay him to work for him."
Maybe he has experience, access to information, contacts, all that shit that takes years to accumulate, probably generations. There's rarely a self-made billionaire that
Right.
truly started from nothing without,
Right.
like, yeah. So you're paying for access to that, and would you say you had $50,000 in the bank? You're making $20,000 a year at your job.
That's a lot to save for somebody who's making $20,000
You're right.
a year.
You're right. Let's say you had an inheritance.
This is still for trust fund babies or rich kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Or people who are maybe just, middle management, barely scraping by, or maybe they have a good job right out of school and they're saving some money, but they want to do something different with their life. The more I think about this,
In theory,
I don't hate this.
you could fast track your life. You could take a leap and better yourself. Maybe
And his argument is, I mean, look, he's a billionaire. He's not sitting around with your $25,000 going, oh, I got you. He doesn't give a fuck. His argument is he put that price tag on there to get like a different type of person.
You have to be serious about it to...
Yes.
Yeah. I get that.
So I am of two minds of this, but the more I think about it, I'm not sure I wouldn't do something like that.
I mean, let's say Elon Musk calls you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You get to learn...
Says, give me $30,000. You work with me for a year.
Do you only get 1 year, or can you keep paying him $30,000 a year?
I'm not sure of the details.
Yeah. It takes you 5 years to graduate, you know, like... I don't know.
It actually doesn't say.
I would do it. If someone...
Oh, no. You pay the first year, and if you're good enough, he'll start paying you the second year.
Okay.
That's actually a pretty good deal.
That's, yeah. I would take that deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you would learn...
The people you'd meet.
Also, it's like, it's not just him. Like, he has an accountant. He has a lawyer. You get to learn all these aspects of running business. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, make those contacts. You build, you know, your own team of people that work with you. And
just the resume, I feel like. I cannot believe I'm shilling for this billionaire right now. But yeah, immediately I read that out loud. I read it earlier and was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Then I read it out loud to you and was like, actually, that seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think I would clear out like my IRA and do that if I liked the CEO enough. All right, Nick. One more number between 1 and 10.
I gotta go with number 1, I think.
You can't, because I only had 9. When you said 10, I did number 1.
Okay.
And I didn't want to say 1 and 9 because, you know, sorry, that's how show business works.
Let's do number 7.
Number 7, baby. All right. This is a story about an Indonesian man.
Okay.
An Indonesian man who, where's the story? Just found out that his wife of a year is a cross-dressing man. She would wear a niqab, a full face veil at home, and avoid intimacy, saying she's on her period constantly. The 26-year-old man, only known as AK in the media, has been dating a woman for a year before they decided to tie the knots. They quickly hit it off and soon arranged to meet in person. From their first meeting, the woman, the cross-dressing man, claimed to be a devout Muslim to cover his or her head, and I don't know what pronouns to use. I don't know what's going on here because it calls him a man in the headline, so I don't know how this person identifies.
Yeah.
Couple married in a modest ceremony. He grew suspicious after his wife soon after their wedding, as she refused to communicate with his family and would wear the face mask at home at all times, constantly avoiding physical intimacy, claiming to be on the period. Eventually, he found out she was not an orphan, as she claimed, tracked down her family's address, where her parents told him that his wife was in fact a man named Esh. And he has been cross-dressing since only 2020. They were unaware that their son had a relationship with the man. How? I don't know the culture of Indonesia that well.
Yeah, I don't either. I could only really view it through my own experience.
That seems like a long time.
Sui bono. Who what's the end game? Who benefits? Like, is the guy wealthy and this guy like figured this out?
How did they go through the whole system to get married? Is that legal there?
Right. They had fake documents, or maybe it's like a name like Pat or
right,
Carrie, or like an androgynous name in Indonesia.
I took an L, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to show an ID to get a marriage license, or...
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
That's weird. It's just the level of deceit to like...
That's the other thing. I don't know anything about Indonesia.
To
Can
what
you
end?
be gay in Indonesia? Can you just be gay?
To what end?
Can you be trans? To what end?
Yeah, maybe not. But then they weren't having sex, so
I don't know. But then it seems like, why would you go? It kind of seems like a 1980s comedy plot. Like it started as a ruse and then it went too far.
Couldn't back out because
To the point where you were like, you're literally, his parents didn't even know. So that's a double life.
yeah.
Wish you guys the best. Well, probably the guy's gonna want a divorce.
I hope, yeah. I just hope the guy's okay after losing all that blood for a year.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. What? How long? How long can you keep this up? There is an element of humor here,
Yeah.
but yeah, we haven't found it. It's just on the list.
I don't know.
It's a weird news story. It's hard to
Yeah.
find weird news these days. Everything's political. I got one for you next week. You're gonna like.
Okay.
That is the one. It was the one. The one you didn't pick. We didn't get to all nine, but the one I was hoping you'd pick. Just it deals with some stuff we've already talked about.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
No
Okay. All right, it's time
It's time for desk jokes.
for desk jokes, baby. News desk jokes. I'd like to thank Nick for doling out the budget for these 3x5 note cards.
You owe me 73 cents.
This is 3x5. Hold
I
on a
don't
minute.
know.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to? Should I kick it off?
I think you should kick it off
Yeah,
because I'm doing the celebrity birthdays and I really only have
Okay.
one joke.
Okay. Got some Kansas City Chiefs news. Kansas City Chiefs snuck out a win this week in a dramatic matchup against the Carolina Panthers. Taylor Swift was not in attendance after being apprehended at the Canadian border. She was caught by customs agents attempting to smuggle in a long back.
Oh yeah, we can throw them. Can I do one of yours?
Oh, yeah. Here.
Just a random one. Oh, and another Chiefs news: replacement kicker Spencer Schrader made the game-winning field goal this week in the final seconds, taking on the combined responsibility of a reliable special teams player and the guy who fucks Harrison Butker's wife like she needs to be. That's good.
But
Great. Hell yeah.
Butker will be in recovery for 3 to 4 weeks after receiving treatment for a meniscus injury he sustained falling out of the hotel chair after seeing his wife achieve orgasm for the first time.
Good one.
Spencer Schrader is digging down his wife.
A recent survey of corporate America found that offices are ditching the mistletoe at this year's holiday parties. Great, the one time a year I can kiss Nick without confronting my rampant, suppressed homosexuality. I can't throw these very good.
I love you too, man.
It was a joke.
In local news, the Prairie Village YMCA announced it will be closing in December, marking the end of an era for playing racquetball and contracting HPV from the showers.
Rest in peace. Thanks for doing all the work, Nick. The iconic plaza lighting ceremony took place on Monday this week. Did it really?
Yep.
Usually they do that after Thanksgiving. Kicking off the holiday season with music, fireworks, and the proliferation of meaningless retail goods, ironically meant to distract you from the horrors of our dystopian hellscape. Oh, and also the Cheesecake Factory.
I like their turtle cheese.
Why can't I throw these things?
And the weather. Let's go over to me for the weather.
We now turn to myself for the weather.
We're expecting a cold front this week, so bundle up. It's going to be colder than my landlord, Gina Stevenson, who threatened to kill my dog if I was late on rent again. Adding, Mama needs her Boone's Farm.
Go ahead and round it out.
In neighborhood news, local homeless man Jerry Groggins was seen along the trail throwing sticks in front of cyclists. When asked why he was doing this, he replied simply,
That's going to be the intro clip for this episode. It's just you going. All right, celebrity birthdays. First, in memoriam. Sadly, Ted Bundy would have turned 78 years old this week. Ted Bundy is, of course, known for being the original pickup artist. Rest in peace, King. What the fuck? I have no wrist control. In other birthdays, Bill Nye, the science guy, turned 69 this week.
Nice.
Most famous for being the cringiest government psyop since Nancy Pelosi's huge mommy milkers. Finally, original Beatles drummer Pete Best turns 83 this week. You will remember in other news that Pete Best is, quote, according to God, destined to live forever, walking the earth in complete agony until God's ultimate cosmic joke ceases to be funny to him. Undefeated.
Imagine he has to watch Ringo Starr become the most famous
for your
drummer.
entire life. Your entire... Dude, they got famous in the early 60s. That dude has been living in the shadow of Ringo Starr for 60 years. 2/3 of his life. Anyway.
Well, it's good to know there is a God.
Yeah. I need to know something.
Did he do anything
I need
else
to know
after?
what he did. The Beat Brothers, I don't know. Lee Curtis and the All-Star. I mean, he had a career. But still, bro.
At least, like, did he play for Wings
The
when
fifth
Paul
Beatle.
McCartney went back out? You know, like...
No, the Pete Best 4, the Pete Best combo. He had, but those, I think those were how they met him. I watched this documentary when Paul was talking about all the. I think he peaked at the Beatles, bro.
Well, what was his middle name? Second?
Pete. Oh no.
He was his father's name was Pete Best, and he was
The Pete Best combo.
Pete Best the second.
He just, yeah. Yeah.
Poor bastard. Oh, well.
Look, he lived. Look, it is what it is. I just gotta say, my ego. I don't need much out of life, but that would destroy me. I would never be the same person, and it would keep getting worse and worse. Maybe that would make me a different person.
There's a Family Guy bit about that where like Ringo writes a song, they're like, oh, we're gonna put that on the fridge, and they just like put it up like some kid's finger painting.
Octopus's garden.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the news. It's Tuesday Newsday.
Tuesday Newsday. Tune in next week.
When we'll have even more current events. We don't even know what it's going to be yet because it hasn't happened. Tune in tomorrow for Advice Wednesday. Love you.
We love you.